Hi guys, so this is a continuation of my talk about narcissistic personality disorder and narcissism. Narcissism is really important. I was mentioning in my earlier discussion that many people, particularly women, they like attributing the challenges that they have in their relationships to the men being narcissistic. So many times this is done in a very offhand and casual manner. But I think it's really important. I feel that it is important for people to understand what narcissism really means. Narcissism is not just about being selfish or being a cheater or being an abuser and so on. It's actually a matrix of behaviors, tendencies, and attitudes that in the end make a relationship with a narcissist very exploitative and difficult, and in the end most times most narcissists end up very miserable. Just to recap, one of the things about being a narcissist is most narcissists have a sense of very deep shame, and if you look at their behavior, the mask that they put on, all of it is a guard against feeling that sense of shame. And this is the shame they'll project on you, and I'm going to discuss about the manners in which they are going to project this shame on you during the course of the relationship. Most of the times, the people who get into relationship with narcissists are people who are seeking acceptance. They don't know how to draw boundaries, and many times they're easy to suck in because they seek this acceptance. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about what we call the 4Ds of narcissism. Okay, these are the kind of things narcissists normally do. The first D is deny. Okay, so most of the times, if you accuse a narcissist of anything, they're going to deny that they did it. And of course, part of it is gaslighting, which I'm going to talk about shortly. Like you can tell this person that they said this on this particular day. They tell you, no, I didn't do that. And because you, most of the times you are an empath, you give them the benefit of doubt. You start wondering, okay, did you misunderstand? Or is your recall poor? Maybe you're not remembering correctly. So the narcissist is going to deny, okay? And normally, the second D is dismiss. If they cannot deny it, they're going to dismiss it. That they tell maybe you're being too sensitive. They use minimizing most of the times. Or they can use shaming tactics. They say, you're new mama, you're being petty, and so on. So they dismiss it. They find a way of dismissing what it is you're saying. Okay? The other one is the other devalue. Okay? They'll make you feel less valuable, and so that you doubt yourself. They can create a situation where they make themselves seem right. Okay? They'll give examples of other people who've done what they've done. They justify it. They rationalize their actions and so on. That is devaluation, so that whatever position you have or your point of view, it becomes less valuable, and you as a person therefore becomes less valuable. And then of course the third D is normally divorce. Most of the times they can end up divorcing you, or you may be forced to actually divorce them. But I want to focus more on the pattern of narcissistic abuse. You can find that someone will tell you that because the husband cheated, they're a narcissist, or because the husband abused them, they're a narcissist. Narcissistic abuse actually normally goes through a cycle, okay? It is not an event, and it's normally repeated. So it doesn't take place once, it doesn't take place twice, it takes place again and again in the course of a relationship. It could be in a marriage, or it could just be in a romantic relationship. Sometimes it could even be in the workplace, but most of the times it manifests itself in a romantic relationship. So normally the first thing that starts with in the first cycle of narcissistic abuse is what we call idealization. So idealization involves the narcissist loving you, like you are the ideal person in the world, the person they've always wanted. They'll put aside everything and show you love. They'll do what is called love bombing. Okay? Normally, that is a magical phase that is very romantic. They'll give you everything, they'll shower you with the love. Okay? And also, what normally happens at this time, this of course engenders trust. So you're going to tell them all your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and so on. Unfortunately, for people in narcissistic relationships, this information is actually going to be like ammunition that will be later used against you. So once they know your strengths and weaknesses and your vulnerabilities, because you are letting your guard down, they're love bombing you, they're putting you first, and so on. This is normally the most enjoyable part. But at the same time, it's also for the narcissist to act just like a sponge, absorbing. They're downloading data about you. It lasts about 3 months. Sometimes it can be shorter, it can be longer, but it's normally a short phase. Once they feel that they've learned enough about you, they go to the next phase. The next phase is now called devaluation. So devaluation now involves isolating you. They'll tell you, maybe if you're married, they tell you now you're a married man, you don't need to be hanging around with your friends. They tell you you need to have boundaries with your family. They isolate you. Normally, devaluation now involves isolation. They will isolate you, but they will also start to basically start destroying your self-esteem. After isolating you through criticism, they'll start making you feel less than. They make you feel like you can never make them happy. They'll start make you start walking on eggshells. They start make you question yourself. Your self-esteem is going to go down, because at that time you're trying to seek the person that they were during the idealization phase, and you think that it is because of what you've done or what you're doing that that person is no longer there. Okay, so it shatters your self-esteem, and this devaluation stage basically sets you up now for the next stage, and the devaluation can take very long. Okay, depending on how you handle it, or because depending on how you deal with the devaluation, it may go to the next stage sooner rather than later. But the basic idea of devaluation is to make you doubt yourself, make you have a poor self. For example, if you have a friend, they can tell you, for example, that particular person, I don't think they like you the way you think. I think you are speaking too much to that person. You know, you are giving too much information, and this kind of friendship cannot last if you behave like this. They tell you that this particular person was coming too close. Maybe you need to create boundaries and so on. The basic idea is to try to manage you and make you feel that you're not doing things the right way. Okay? After devaluation comes the next stage, which is called the discard. Discard comes in many forms. It can be in form of some silent treatment that is from nowhere. You wonder, what did I do wrong? It could be a breakup. They tell you they're breaking up with you. It can come in form of very serious disrespect. It can come in terms of insults. It can come in terms of cheating and so on. So most of the times, a discard can be done when you cause what is called a narcissistic injury, like when you challenge them. If you call them to their bullshit, the narcissist now incurs a narcissistic injury, and that is the point when they can decide to discard you because of narcissistic rage. So they can actually either insult you or treat you in a manner that really hurts you in a very deep way, and that is what we normally call the discard. Now, after the discard, many times it can actually end up with you ending the relationship, or you withdrawing, or you basically dealing with the grief or the pain that comes with the discard in a certain way that is going to remove you from their sphere of influence or attention. So that triggers the next phase. Once maybe you go quiet, or you leave them, or you break up with them, they now hoover you. The next stage is called hoovering. Hoovering, you know, is like a vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner is what we call the hoover. So they'll want to suck you back up so that they can use you again for narcissistic supply. The narcissist normally needs what we call narcissistic supply, and normally the main person in their life is normally the one that is supposed to provide the narcissistic supply. So when you are upset, because narcissism again relies a lot on what we call one-upmanship. One of you needs to be up and the other needs to be down. And normally it is you supposed to be down. So either they'll upset you, they'll put you down, you know, those snide comments, being sarcastic, questioning your judgment, putting you down, showing you that you're confused and so on. That is a narcissistic supply. So long as it draws an emotion from you, especially a negative emotion, the narcissist really likes that. So most of the times after discard and you withdraw, they run short of the narcissistic supply. So that's why they need to hoover you back. Okay, they will apologize. They will tell you that they don't know what got into them. They're going to promise you to change. They'll give you all sorts of fake promises and so on, so that you can go back to the relationship. They can even idealize you at this particular point, so that you go back again to the idealization phase, and the relationship starts again. And then you go through that cycle again and again and again. So that is how narcissistic abuse happens. If you see that pattern in your relationship, then you know you're actually dealing with a narcissist. So normally it is a cycle, and a narcissist needs narcissistic supply. They don't do so one thing at a time. If it is the devaluation and the discard, it's normally good. It's a progression from idealization. You start very well, then it goes through the devaluation, and then discard, and then after that, then they suck you back again. They can be very violent during the discard. They can cheat you. They can abuse you. They'll ignore you. They'll do all sorts of things. But once they get you out of their life, or you withdraw because of the pain, they will want you again, back again, and that's what's called hoovering. So idealization, devaluation, discard, hoovering, again and again and again and again, many years, many months, until it ends up really destroying. If you don't have a very, if you're not self-reflective and don't have a very strong ego or personality, narcissistic abuse can really destroy you, because you lose your sense of identity, you lose confidence in yourself, and the narcissist really puts you down until you feel you are worthless. So that is how narcissistic abuse manifests itself. If you have any questions about this, you can DM me or you can reach out, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.